You don't have to be the loudest voice in the room, the most dazzling beauty, or the wittiest conversationalist to be truly likable. In fact, the women we remember most are often those who speak softly, move with quiet grace, and somehow make us feel deeply seen without even trying. In today's video, I'm going to share 10 subtle yet powerful social skills that will instantly make you more magnetic. These aren't about forcing charm or rehearsing lines, but about mastering the art of graceful connection, the kind that leaves others feeling comfortable, valued, and eager to be around you. So, if you're ready to elevate your social elegance and effortlessly shine in every interaction, make sure you subscribe, and let's begin. Number 1. Mirror without mimicking. I once sat next to a woman at a dinner party who made me feel like I'd known her for years. We barely talked about anything deep, just the usual: work, weekend plans, a funny story about someone's dog. But as the night went on, I realized I felt oddly comfortable around her, almost like I could exhale. It wasn't because she was overly chatty or fascinating. It was something quieter. She matched my energy without making it obvious. When I spoke slowly, she slowed down too. When I leaned in to listen, she mirrored the gesture just slightly. There was a natural rhythm to our interaction, like we were dancing without music. This isn't manipulation, it's emotional intelligence. It's like dimming the lights when a room feels too bright. You're not changing who you are, you're simply tuning in. People feel safest around what feels familiar, and our brains pick up on that harmony long before we're even aware of it. The key is subtlety. Don't imitate someone like a mirror. You're not copying their every word or gesture. You're softening your edges just enough to meet them where they are. That's what creates connection. Most people won't be able to explain why they enjoyed your company. They'll just say, "She was easy to be around." And that's the beginning of quiet, lasting charm. Number 2, make light of awkward moments. A few months ago, I was at a gallery opening, one of those quiet events where everyone's sipping wine and pretending to understand abstract art. I reached for a glass of water at the same time as another guest, and in the smallest of mishaps, our hands collided. The glass tipped, and a few drops landed right on my dress. There was a brief silence, one of those moments that feels longer than it is. But then she smiled and said, "Well, I guess we've skipped the formalities." And just like that, we were both laughing. That moment, which could have been awkward or embarrassing, turned into the start of a lovely conversation. You see, elegance doesn't mean being perfect. It means being graceful in the imperfect. Likable women don't freeze or fumble when something goes wrong. They meet it with warmth, maybe a little humor, and move on without making it a big deal. It's not about pretending awkward moments don't happen. It's about how you carry yourself through them. So next time you trip over your words, bump into someone, or spill a little tea, don't apologize like you've committed a crime. Smile. Laugh gently. Say something like, "I think my brain just hit pause." Give it a second. It's light, it's human, and it gives everyone else permission to relax. That small shift, grace over panic, makes people feel safe around you. And safety is the foundation of likability. Number 3, exit conversations with warmth. A woman I met once at a networking event left such an impression, not because of what she said, but how she ended our conversation. We'd been chatting for maybe 10 minutes about books and travel, and just as the group began to shift, she gently placed her hand on my arm, smiled, and said, "It was really lovely talking with you. I hope our paths cross again." Then she walked away with ease, not rushed, not abrupt, just complete. And that's the thing. Most people don't think twice about how they leave a conversation. They drift away, check their phone, or suddenly turn to someone else. But the graceful ones? They know the ending is just as important as the beginning. It's the last note you leave behind. Exiting with warmth doesn't mean being dramatic. It's just a soft closing of the door, a moment that says, I valued our time. And that small gesture, just a sentence or two, sticks with people. It tells them you're not here to collect conversations like business cards. You're here to connect, even briefly, with care. So next time you're ready to step away, try something like, I'm going to grab a drink, but I really enjoyed chatting with you. It's simple. It's kind. And it shows a level of social grace that most people forget to offer. It's the curtsy at the end of the dance, the part that lingers in memory. Number 4, ask elegant, unexpected questions. I remember being at a friend's birthday dinner, one of those long tables where you end up seated beside someone you've never met. Within minutes, he asked me, "So what do you do?" I smiled politely, answered, and then we both reached for our drinks in awkward silence. But then the woman across from me leaned in and asked, "What's something that's made you smile lately?" I paused and found myself opening up about the simple joy of morning walks and a stranger's dog that now greets me like we've been lifelong friends. That one question shifted everything. It didn't feel like an interview. It felt human. Unexpected questions invite people to share who they are, not just what they do. They say, "I'm curious about you, not just your resume." In a world full of autopilot conversations, elegance is asking the question no one sees coming, but loves answering. Try. What's something you're looking forward to? Or is there a book or show you've been loving lately? These questions are soft doors into someone's world. They create space, not pressure. The truth is, you don't need to be clever to be interesting. You just need to be curious, genuinely curious. People remember how you made them feel, and when you ask with real interest, they feel seen. And in that moment, they'll likely walk away thinking, I don't know what it was, but I really liked her. Number 5, compliment effort, not just outcome. I once complimented a woman at a garden party by saying, "That dress is stunning on you, especially that soft green. It brings out your eyes in the loveliest way." She lit up, not just because she liked the dress, but because she felt seen. Later, she told me, "It's funny, I was unsure about the color, but I picked it because it reminded me of home." That's the beauty of a thoughtful compliment. It goes beyond the surface. Anyone can say, "You look great." But when you notice a choice someone made, a color, a detail, the way they explain something clearly, you show that you see the effort behind the outcome. And that's deeply affirming. People don't always remember generic praise, but they remember when someone noticed the little things. Like saying, "The way you told that story was so calming. I felt like I was there." Or, "That hairstyle is so flattering. It feels very you." These kinds of compliments reflect observation, not flattery. And observation is rare. Here's the elegant secret. Most people just want to feel noticed. So notice. Not the loudest detail, but the quiet intention. When you do, you stand out. Because your attention is not just kind, it's intentional. And that kind of presence makes you not just likable, but unforgettable. Number 6, shift gracefully when the mood changes. I once ran into an old acquaintance at a cafe. We chatted casually, and she lit up telling me her daughter had gotten into a prestigious university. Months later, we bumped into each other again, and I asked, "How's she enjoying school?" Her smile faded just slightly, and she replied, "Actually, she left." It wasn't the right path for her. That's one of those delicate moments where your response matters more than your question. It's easy to freeze, apologize, or dig for details. But true elegance isn't about pushing through. It's about sensing the shift and stepping gently. So I smiled and said, "That takes courage. I admire that." Her whole posture softened. The The conversation flowed on, but the respect stayed. Likable women don't cling to topics that have clearly changed shape. They pivot with care. They read emotional cues, not just facial expressions, but the energy in someone's voice, the pause before they answer. And when something once joyful turns heavy, they don't make it heavier. They offer a soft place to land. It's a kind of emotional tact that many overlook. You don't have to fix the moment or pretend nothing changed. You just have to honor it with grace, not questions. That subtle sensitivity tells people, you're safe to be real here. And in a world full of noise and performance, that kind of presence feels like a breath of fresh air. Number 7, let others be wrong without humiliation. Not long ago at a dinner party, someone was confidently explaining that Napoleon was actually German. A few guests paused, glanced at one another, and you could feel the tension building. Someone was about to actually him into the ground. But one woman, quiet and calm, smiled and said, "Really? I always thought he was French. Now I'm curious. I'll have to look that up." The conversation moved on, and no one's pride was bruised. That's the difference. Elegant women don't rush to correct every little mistake. They know when something isn't worth turning into a lesson. Most of the time, being right isn't nearly as important as being kind. And when you protect someone's dignity, especially in public, it tells everyone around you that you're someone they can feel safe with. Of course, sometimes things do need gentle correction. But the secret is how you do it. Not with sharpness or smugness, but with curiosity. Wait, I thought it was the other way. Now I want to double check. It becomes a moment of shared learning, not embarrassment. Think of someone's pride as delicate, like fine china at a tea table. You wouldn't slam it down or draw attention to a crack. You'd handle it with care. Because the most likable people don't just carry themselves with grace. They extend it to everyone around them, quietly, thoughtfully, consistently. Number 8, follow through quietly. A friend once told me about a woman she met at a networking event. They spoke briefly about a book on personal growth. The woman said, "I'll send you a link. It helped me through a difficult season." My friend smiled, not expecting much. But the next morning, there it was, a short, kind email with the book link and a gentle note. "Thought you might enjoy this. No pressure." That small act stayed with her longer than the conversation itself. That's the thing. Follow-through doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't need big promises or dramatic gestures. Just say what you'll do. And quietly do it. Whether it's remembering a name, showing up on time, or sending that thoughtful follow-up, consistency is what makes people feel like they can trust you. There's a quiet strength in being dependable without making it a performance. No need for, "Sorry, I've been so busy," or "I meant to do this last week." Just the simple grace of doing what you said you would. It shows you respect not only their time, but your word. And here's the elegant truth. Flashy charm may turn heads, but it's steady character that builds connection. Likable women don't overpromise. They don't need to. They simply show up, gently, reliably, and often without needing credit. And in a world that runs on noise, that kind of quiet consistency is rare and deeply magnetic. Number 9. Include the socially invisible. At a holiday party a few years ago, there was a young woman standing quietly near the edge of the room, gently holding a glass of sparkling water like it was a shield. No one really noticed her. She wasn't dressed to stand out, and she didn't try to insert herself into any conversations. But one guest, a graceful older woman in navy silk, saw her. She turned, smiled, and said, "I was just telling the story of my first job disaster. Ever had a boss you still have nightmares about?" The young woman laughed, relaxed, and joined the circle like she'd always belonged. That's the magic of quiet inclusion. It doesn't take a grand gesture, just awareness, a glance, a question. A small space made in the conversation for someone who didn't know how to step in on their own. Likable women don't just shine in the spotlight. They turn the light toward others, especially those who feel invisible. There's always someone at the gathering who isn't quite sure how to join in. The intern, the newcomer, the +1 who only knows one name in the room. The truly elegant woman notices them, not because she needs to look kind, but because kindness is who she is. Here's your tip. Next time you're in a group, subtly shift your body to open the circle. Make eye contact with the quiet one. Ask them something easy and open, like, how do you know everyone here? It doesn't just bring them in, it makes them feel seen. And in a world where so many feel overlooked, that kind of grace lingers long after the night ends. Number 10, shift from me too to tell me more. Imagine this. Someone at a dinner shares, I spent a month in Italy last summer. Before they've even finished their sentence, someone else jumps in. Oh my gosh, same. I went to Florence 3 years ago. The gelato? Life-changing. And the Airbnb we stayed in had this goat named Lorenzo. And just like that, the moment shifts, and the original storyteller disappears. We've all done it, thinking we're connecting by relating. But the most likable women know real connection doesn't always mean adding your story. Sometimes it means holding space for someone else's. Picture a more graceful response. I loved Italy too. What part did you fall in love with? That tiny shift from sharing to inviting feels like an open door. It tells the other person, I'm not here to top your story. I'm here to listen to it. This habit is quietly powerful, because at the end of a conversation, people won't remember everything you said. But they will remember how you made them feel. And feeling heard, really heard, is rare. Here's the elegant truth. Likability isn't about talking more. It's about listening better. Let others shine. Give them the floor. And when you do speak, do it with curiosity, not competition. You don't need to impress. You just need to care. Likability isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention or dominate the room. It's soft. It shows up in small, almost invisible ways. The way you let someone finish their story. The way you include the person no one's talking to. The way you let a moment of awkwardness pass with a smile. It's not about performing charm. It's about offering comfort. And comfort, when done with grace, is unforgettable. So, I'd love to know. What's one thing someone did that instantly made you like them? Was it something they said? Or something they didn't say? Share it in the comments. I read everyone. If this video gave you something to think about, give it a like, subscribe for more, and take a peek at my Amazon storefront for elegant living and beauty must-haves I genuinely adore. And as always, thank you for being here. Stay gracious, stay grounded, and remember, solitude gems. Stay classy.